Hey everybody, it's Austin Ward for Lettermen Row, back with another BuckIQ for you. We've got our guy, the linebacker, the do-it-all, Zach Boren, former Ohio State star. We're talking about another guy trying to fill in that silver bullet tradition at Baron Browning.
Yep.
And Zach, there were such high hopes for this guy when he recruited, five-star stud and all this. He's going to play middle linebacker, he play outside wherever. It just hasn't happened for him yet. But he's trying to find a way now. Maybe Al Washington's going to unlock that potential.
Hopes is, he had the hype, he had everything, right? Ohio State, the coaches and the fan base was so excited when this kid committed to Ohio State. And I couldn't agree with you more where I think a different coaching philosophy with Al Washington coming in, Al Washington having some success with a guy like Devin Bush, who's a more athletic, sideline-to-sideline kind of linebacker. I think just a different perception from the way a linebacker coach coaches and different reads and different techniques that he can give to Baron are going to do wonders for him. I know the Ohio State coaches are still very high on this kid. They want him to show up. Here's the issue, though, and it's kind of been the issue ever since Baron stepped on campus, is that all the linebackers are coming back, right? You still got Warner, you still got Borland, you still got Harrison. So, there's not much room, but this is a guy that brings a different dynamic. I'm sure you will see him on the field, especially them wanting to rotate a lot more guys this year. This is a guy you're going to see in some different spots, maybe out in nickel, maybe off the edge, right? In pass rushing situations, you're going to see this guy on the field.
Sometimes I wonder, Zach, if there's too much urgency, pressure, whatever you want to put it on these guys to come in and do it right away. I think of like a Curtis Grant.
Yep.
He had the expectations throughout his career, and it didn't really happen until the very end. Sometimes, the position that you played at the end of your career is just hard. It can take some time.
It is, and when you have that much hype around you, and obviously this is a kid that when he was a freshman in high school, right, he started to gain some accolades and started to get this hype to be the number one linebacker in the country, I believe, when he came out. So, sometimes when you go to a place like Ohio State, the big schools, Ohio State, Alabama, Clemson, schools like that, it's hard that you come in, you finally have some competition. Maybe the ball doesn't bounce your way at first. And so this is a guy that's been climbing an uphill battle since he came on campus, but he's someone who has flash plays, which, we're going to see. And it's someone that I know the coaches haven't given up on, and I think that's key. There's a lot of guys who come in fully hyped up, who don't perform on the field, and the coaches give up on. This is not one of those guys.
Yeah, still time for him to grow, still time to develop, still time to get on the field. Baron Browning's done with that spring. He's looking forward to trying to fight his way into a more prominent role this fall. So Zach's going to break that down for us right now on BuckIQ. Let's roll the tape. All right, Zach, so just talking about a guy like Baron Browning, who I'm not really sure what the best role for him is with Ohio State, but you can see the athleticism and why Ohio State wants to find somewhere to put this guy on the field.
You couldn't be more right about that. This kid screams athleticism. His height, the way he runs, he's long. He almost looks like a Ryan Shazier type guy. He can run sideline to sideline. This is someone you see. He doesn't take the greatest angle. He goes inside. I don't know really what he's reading here, but he's able to adjust, come back outside. And this was a quick quarterback. If you guys remember, this kid from Tulane could really play, And so for Baron Browning to be able to go inside, stay on his feet, put his hand on the ground, and still be able to come and get in this guy's face. And listen, that quarterback was quick, running around people, but he can't Baron Browning.
And we've talked about this a number of times, probably 100 on BuckIQ with you, Zach.
Yep.
You talked about the angle, the pursuit, some of this, the alignment we've seen with Ohio. There's a new coach. If you give him something to do, he has to overcome some of that on this play, and he does make a play.
He does, and that's something that he can do. He has a playmaking ability, which is what I think Ohio State loves. I think that's what the fan base wants, right? This is a playmaking linebacker. I think a different linebacker coach is going to do wonders for him. Just be able to give him some kind of reads, right? Just the smallest, littlest thing from read the quarterback here or read the running back here in different formations. A little tip like that can do wonders for a linebacker.
Yeah, and he didn't make all that many plays, didn't have that many opportunities, but you see this is one here, and a bigger opportunity later on against Penn State. Made some plays later on in the year as it went on. He got his opportunities. He tended to make the most of it, and it was just hard for him to ever find that consistent work. He's not alone on this one, but he's blowing stuff up in the backfield.
No, he is, and I think you started to see him play in some bigger games. They would bring him in where like, hey, we really need a play right here. What I love about this, and on the last play, he had a bad read and comes back. This one you can see guard pulls, flow's going this way. If you set guard pulls, it's flowing this way. He doesn't take any false steps. He's able to go and attack this and play downhill. This is what you want to see out of Baron Browning each and every play. And I think that's what the Ohio State coaches want to see. That's what the fan base wants to see. But play like this, that's a playmaking linebacker, right? No false steps, guard pulls, flow goes that way. He's able to play off the quarterback and make a play for a tackle for loss right here.
There have been times where, as I said off the top there, Zach, is he a middle linebacker? Is he an outside linebacker? Is he coming up, should he go up and maybe pass rush as an end? Yep. He looks really good. He doesn't seem to be comfortable in the middle. He says he's not. But that looks like the guy who should be there.
It does, and we saw this. Last play he was playing close to the line. The next play you're going to see he's blitzing, and that's what they've done so much with him is blitz him, right? When he goes out there on defense and he's in these packages, they're like, hey, we know you're quick, we know you're long, just go, get to the football and make a play, right? It's not so much reading. He's had trouble with that. And so from that last play, that's what I love to see. He was able to read out of it and make a play. But here, this is what he's been so good at. These are the kind of situations where they're like, hey, we need him on the field. It's first and goal on the 1. He finds a gap to go. You see how quick he is, how long he is, sits there and makes a play.
Yeah, I think that's an example of why people are so excited. You say it's not a read and react play, but that guy's into the backfield almost as soon as the ball is snapped.
I completely agree with you. And so what I'm looking for him, especially this year, I think you may see him play outside a little bit more. Heck, I think you may see him play that bullet position a little bit. Depending on what Brendan White, if he gets that position or not, or if they keep Brendan White back at free safety. But this is a guy that just adds a whole new playmaking ability to the defense when he's on the field, when he's doing what he's supposed to do, and you can just see that speed.
Yeah, the athleticism is hard to deny. That's Baron Browning. Big year for him. Zach Boren is always breaking it down with us right here at Lettermen Row on BuckIQ. So for Zach, I'm Austin Ward. We'll see you next time.